What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and I just have one question for you all. Are pet detectives real? Because we need an Ace Ventura right now. Because there is something wild, no pun intended, there is something wild going on at the Dallas Zoo. Some of you all might remember that a couple of weeks ago it was in the news that a leopard, I think, some type of big cat, escaped the Dallas Zoo. And then a few days ago, I heard something about this endangered vulture dying at the Dallas Zoo. And now news just broke that 2 monkeys were stolen from the Dallas Zoo. And people working at the Dallas Zoo, they don't think that this is a streak of bad luck. No, they think foul play is involved. They think that there is someone, maybe, I guess visitors, I don't know. They think there is someone sabotaging them. They think that all of this stuff is linked together. Because when the leopard escaped a couple of weeks ago, they said there was evidence that the enclosure had been tampered with. And then there was another situation involving some other monkeys. This vulture just randomly ups and dies. And now we have 2 monkeys missing. I guess their camera system doesn't work out too well. I don't know what is going on here, but it is extremely fishy. Now, when I got into the true crime game, I didn't think we would be covering true zoo crimes. Yet here we are. We need justice for these animals. Because I'm starting to believe that all of this is tied together as well. It's all happened in such a short time span. And in each one of these separate situations, the people working at the zoo say there's evidence that maybe there was some fishy stuff going on. But I want to go ahead and hop into this article so we can get a better understanding of what is going on here. Dallas Zoo. 2 monkeys allegedly stolen. Latest weird animal mishap. 2 primates at the Dallas Zoo have allegedly been ape-napped. At least that's what the zoo is saying. Just the latest in a string of bizarre animal-related disappearances. Zoo officials notified Dallas PD Monday that a couple of their emperor tamarin monkeys were missing from their habitats. And worse, they claim there's evidence of tampering in the restricted areas that house the creatures, so they believe the monkeys were taken. The cops are already looking into it, and because it's an open investigation, not many details are available at the moment. You might recall, this is the same zoo where a clouded leopard somehow escaped its enclosure just earlier this month, prompting a shutdown of the place and a massive search. The leopard ended up being found on the grounds soon after, but zoo officials claimed afterwards that its habitat had been cut through, suggesting that someone let the big cat out intentionally. There are 2 other strange animal incidents that have occurred at the Dallas Zoo as of late, including another alleged breach in an enclosure housing Langor monkeys, as well as an endangered vulture being found dead at the facility, which cops also called suspicious. Now, 2 little simians are unaccounted for, and there seems to be a concern that a possible repeat offender could be afoot. Now, not to make light of this, but is Ace Ventura available? Yeah, they had the same thoughts as I did. Where's Ace Ventura when you need him? But this is extremely odd. All of this stuff going down, and I have so many questions here. The main thing that pops in my mind is this is probably some type of PETA whacked out animal activists. They've been doing a lot of crazy stuff lately. These activists are really getting out of hand. I saw one that chained themselves to one of these, some type of machine, and his head almost literally got decapitated because he didn't realize the machine was still on. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with these animal activists, but I wonder if that's the case. But then, is that something an activist would do? Would they literally cut through an enclosure and let a leopard out at the zoo that could possibly harm people or possibly be harmed? These psycho people may do something like that, to make a statement. Who knows? But obviously something is going on here. My question is, where is the security? And when I say security, I don't necessarily mean security guards. You don't have cameras or some way of knowing what may be happening here. You can't look at your cameras and maybe figure out, okay, this particular person was here on all of these exact days that all of this stuff went down. Because, if someone's doing this stuff, I believe it's probably the same person or the same group of people. So I find it extremely odd that they don't have the measures in place that would easily solve this case. There should be cameras focusing on these areas. So if something like this happens, you know who did it. But apparently there are no cameras, at least that I know of, because I don't think we would be having this conversation if they had that type of information. But you know what? I think the other most likely option here, if it's not an animal rights activist, I don't think this is just some random people. Random people just decide every time they're at the zoo, hey, let's steal monkeys today, or hey, let's free a leopard tomorrow, and let's poison a vulture. I think it's all tied together. If there is something here, I would think that this is an inside job, possibly. Like I said, I don't know how tight their security is over there, but to get away with all of this in a matter of a month, in a span of a month, the first situation didn't alarm y'all enough to get better security measures that it happened again. You literally went to the police and said, hey, there's evidence that someone tampered with this enclosure and they intentionally freed this leopard. That happened earlier this month. And no measures were put into place because obviously someone walked right in there and stole some monkeys. So, it blows my mind. I was just at an aquarium earlier this week. And I'm not saying they had tight security or anything, but I don't think I could have stolen any of the animals that I encountered there. So I'm just wondering how this happens, how someone goes about this, if they're not working on the inside. So I think that when they conduct this investigation, that's the first place they need to look. They need to look at some of these employees because, this is weird. And then another question that comes to mind is this just the zoo? Are horrible things just happening to these animals and the zoo's kind of just at fault? So they just want to say, hey, no, someone cut them out the enclosure. Someone stole the monkeys because they don't want to say, hey, now we got 2 monkeys dead after an endangered vulture died and all of this stuff. So maybe, I don't want to think that, but is it a possibility that this zoo just sucks and the animals are dying and escaping under their watch and they want to blame it on something else? Or is there some type of conspiracy here where people are coming to free these animals and steal these animals and poison these animals? What in the heck is going on? What in the heck is going on here? We need to get to the bottom of this. I want to make sure these animals are okay. And obviously the zoo isn't competent enough to do that because they're allowing monkeys and leopards and Lord knows what to just be stolen right from under their noses. Who knows if they can even account for all of the random parakeets and random stuff they have at the zoo. Someone could have taken a couple of them, just swiped a couple of little birds or something, and they would never know the difference. But yeah, seriously, there's some type of zoo bandit at the zoo. And this it's kind of like it's like a cartoon or something. I don't even, like a Scooby-Doo mystery. You know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts about whatever the heck you think is going on here down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And listen, I'll talk to you all in the next video.